Alright, hello. Festive Long John's here, doing a quick replay review for one of my mentees in the 2015 mentoring program. This is for Fearless Prince. He's been hanging out with us for a while and sent this replay in for me to review. So, looks like we got double Austere versus double Soviets on Bistraya Voda. Probably butchered that pronunciation, but this is one of the community maps that got introduced into the rotation. Actually, it's the only map with a nice nighttime to daytime transition. So, anyway, we're going to be following Fearless Prince and watching his every move, seeing what we can see, just kind of trying to get a feel for how he plays. He's going to start off with an MG and likely a Grenadier. Yep. Cues that up with 0 wait time, no manpower float. That's good. With him is another Austere player at Jaeger Armor, Lightning War, Artillery, or Assault Support. So we got Joint Ops, Encirclement, and Close Air Support. Okay. So, the first thing I notice about the commander setup here for Fearless is that there are no call-in tanks. I think right now the command tank is one of the strongest units in the game. The buff that it provides is crazy good. It's effectively 25% less damage out of all the units that are around it. It's really strong. I highly recommend putting the command tank in your commander loadout. This map's interesting because it has only one fuel point and it's in the south, so it's likely going to be contested early on. Boba has gone tier 2 and has set up a Maxim. That was a nice dodge there. In fact, we're going to turn the Fog of War on and just do this from the Fog of War so we can see exactly what you're seeing. Nice MG placement there. That's going to deny the fuel at the very least. The Maxim is set up. And looks like you're going to get caught in it. And just barely get out of the suppression cone. That's good. The second Maxim coming up. This is going to be really hard to take the fuel back with the current unit composition. These Maxims are just going to suppress anything. At this point, if you've seen 2 Maxims off the bat, it's not a bad idea to go sniper. MG42 and Grenadiers aren't really going to do a whole lot against double Maxims, and I have more information than you do here watching this. So I can see that he has gone a 3rd Maxim. Attacking a mortar is not a bad idea. And you've got, that's unfortunate, you've got superior cover here, but for some reason your MG42 got pinned almost instantly. So you're going to have to retreat that. Oh, I'm watching from the wrong. Here we go. Alright. Your ally right now has produced a sniper. Sniper is really hard to use on this map, so honestly a mortar is probably the better choice. On other maps that might be a little bit more open, if you see a really heavy Maxim start, it's a pretty good idea to go a sniper. This one, there's so many shot blockers and areas for ambush that it becomes hard. Yeah, right now, a second mortar could work. Depends on how you play it. At this point, yeah, Tellermine is a really good decision, considering the M5 rush is just so strong right now. Want to always try to avoid idling units. There you go. That wasn't too bad. Okay, so now you've got this Maxim overextended, but you don't exactly know where the others are. So you want to be very cautious in trying to punish this, especially because he's going to reface so quickly. Yeah. So what I would do if you're going to go double mortar is just use your pioneers to get vision. 1, because they cost less to reinforce than your grenadiers, and 2, if they get caught in suppression, it's not a big deal. and they actually have way more line of sight for your mortars as well, so you can get line of sight on them without actually exposing yourself. Um, and your mortars are doing work now. That's awesome. And you've got your MG there defending them. So that's exactly what you should be doing. I'm going to get your pioneers in there. Oh, this Maxim spam is so real. It might not be a bad idea at this point for you to go close air support and get a Flamer half-track out and an early P-Grin squad. Flamer half-track would just destroy this. Depending on how quickly he techs tier 3 to get a... it's pretty risky against Soviets because of M5 will wreck it. But a well-timed Flamer half-track could probably wipe all 3 of these Maxims. Again, it's super risky. I don't know if you necessarily want to go for that or not. But it is an option. I think at this point, just steadily forcing him off with the mortars is a good plan. And making sure against Soviets, you need to have AT detect by the 6-minute mark every game, which is good. You've got your battle phase 2 going up right now. That's exactly what you should be doing. S-mines, okay. That's a... I personally would have put the S-mines over here or here. Because it seems like a more likely position for somebody to attack from. Your mortars are doing great. Mortars are just wrecking him right now. I would get a half-track out as soon as possible so that you could just, even if you get suppressed, you can just back off and reinforce and stay on the field. A half-track push will easily deal with this Maxim spam, but you should be using your pioneers to sight for your mortars. That's a rifle nade away from being dead right there. If you can get a rifle nade off on that, I would have died. Yeah, there you go. It was a little bit late, and you ended up wiping it anyway. You can move these mortars up to directly behind the hedge, which it looks like where you're going to go with that one. I think if you're going to build a bunker here, you can face it like this direction a little bit. That way it covers your cutoff and it covers this lane, because as it stands right now, you're about half of this bunker's effectiveness is being negated by this hedge. If you had faced it like this way, you could have pretty easily covered this whole approach and your cutoff. Not a bad spot for a bunker, but it's a little bit early to be spending manpower on a bunker. There's some really nice mortar smoke there to negate that Maxim. Really well played. That's perfect. And here's the M5, and here's where you get punished for not having AT in time. Hopefully he hits the teller, because the M5 is brutal, especially against a heavy support weapon setup that you have right now. It's really important against Soviets to have tier 2 tech that doesn't even take any damage from that shit. Yeah, here's the mass retreat. You should have a pack. Okay, pack's coming out right now, so that'll at least prevent the base rush. And actually, you can catch a lot of players getting really greedy with these M5s. Oh, he just gets out of the cone. He might even decrew it. You got to get the Faust here. Nice. Okay, this M5's gonna go down. Oh, he decrews it from the front. Faust clears it though, with the help of the bunker. So that's perfect. There goes his shock value. 120 munitions down the drain for him. You got to be careful about him just producing another one. So at the moment, your ally seems to be doing fairly well. You're not draining in VPs very hard. Sniper's doing decent. Yeah, there's the T-70. He's really, okay, so at this point, you've seen he's invested a lot of fuel in Tier 3. And you've had decent fuel control for pretty much the whole game. I mean, not great, but your ally has had the North. So you've had maybe enough to get like a command tank out. This is why I think a command tank is so good, because you don't have to tech Tier 3 and you get basically a tier 3 unit. It can punish, it can beat a T70. It's not going to get shat on by a SU-76, but it's okay. So you decided to go close air support. At this point, if you're going to go close air, it's not a bad choice because you're pretty strapped for fuel, and teching at this point is probably not an option. So you probably need to get another pack out, and you need to spam LMGs on all your grins and get S-mines down everywhere. And probably tellers, because you've already seen your opponent be really aggressive with his early vehicles, and you can punish that really easily with close air support and tellers. So, good choice. Close air support's always good for when you're behind when you're behind in fuel. It allows you to fire rifle nades everywhere, like you're doing, which is good. I'd highly recommend a half track. If you're going to play with this many support weapons, having a half track is really, really valuable to reinforce, stay on the field. If, let's say, your pack gets decrewed by a T-70 and you have a 4-man squad nearby to recrew it, you can reinforce while he's pushing and not necessarily get pushed off the field. Perfect teller mine placement. It might hit it. No, he's just going to drive right up. So this is why I said you needed another pack, because it's one pack is so easy to flank, and your teller mines aren't a guarantee. At this point, you should have mass retreated as soon as you saw the M5. Panzerschreck's coming on that, but he's already been suppressed, so maybe playing a little bit more cautious with your Shreks against the M5. Once you're suppressed, they become really kind of hard to use, unless he's playing like an idiot like he is and just sitting in point-blank range. Even so he spotted the teller, that's unfortunate. The Faust doesn't quite kill the M5. Again, unfortunate. A lucky border might get it, though. How does he have vision on these tellers? That was weird. How did he have vision on those teller lines? That was pretty questionable, to be honest. He shot both of those teller mines. Like, manually targeted them. I don't know, man. That seemed really questionable. That's like borderline. He had no way of detecting those. You didn't see him laid. He didn't have any. He doesn't even have sweepers. Like, that might be the sign of somebody cheating. I don't know. Tough to say. That being said, you're still not necessarily out of it. You need more AT, though. You either need another, yeah, you just need another pack. You should have a pack covering this approach and maybe this approach. But honestly, I just veto this map as austere. It's really hard to use MGs effectively, and he's just spamming T-70s now. They have so much. Oh, he went. Okay, so he went industry. Yeah, at this point, if you see 3 T-70s on the field at the same time, you should have a pretty good idea that your opponent has gone industry, which means he's going to have basically no late game. Because the manpower drain is just so bad. He won't have any infantry. And close air support is a great counter to industry because tellers and the AT strafe are amazing at dealing with it. So you definitely have a shot at winning this game. Random engine damage, that's pretty fortunate. T-70's self-repairing while on the move. Try and get a Faust off on the non-engine damaged one. You can probably snag it. Yeah, you can Faust either one of these. The Opel Blitz trucks by your ally were not necessarily a good call. Chasing with these grins is not ideal because they can't deal with the T-70 anyway, so the grins should probably be off. Either capping or you're just going to be draining manpower. It's okay to chase with the Shreks because the Shreks are pretty effective at dealing with T-70s. Alright, so yeah, you're still totally in this game. It looks like this guy's stalling for a KV-8, I think. Which is, the KV-8's pretty shitty, to be honest with you. As long as you can avoid the triple cap for a long time, you're still in it. You should be repositioning to the south, though, and doing a slow creep with your support weapons. Okay, so we got a 120. This is why I was saying a half track would be pretty good, because you can reinforce while you're on the field. If you keep your Grens and your P-Shreks around the half track, it's really hard for even like an M5 to push up, because they'll just eat a Faust and a couple of Shreks and it's going to die. Then you can use the Pioneers to spot for your mortars and the packs as well. At this point, yeah, you should definitely get another pack at this point. It's not a bad idea to go push in the north with your ally, considering that's where both the VPs are, and you've got a few fuel caches down to kind of mitigate your fuel income. Really good idea laying more tellers. That's exactly what you need to be doing. Right now, basically, you're just being punished by lack of AT by the time the M5 hits the field, because they pushed you off the map really easily. So there you go, teller mine, perfect. Unless that was another shot from the back. I didn't see the teller.
We have a forward structure under attack.
But against Soviets, you need to have AT. You need to have a pack and probably a teller mine down by like the 6-minute mark, because if he really wants to, and they have control of the fuel, they can get it out by 6 minutes. So you might even want to have it earlier. Like I think 4 tier 1 units into a pack is kind of necessary. It's not optimal when you're dealing with maximum spam, but the downside is just getting completely wrecked by the M5.
We are losing a sector.
One thing you can do, and this doesn't pertain to this game in particular, but if you have decent fuel control and you notice your opponent going heavy tier 3 units, you can rush the P4 and just absolutely destroy everything in this tier 3. P4 will easily beat everything in tier 3. It can even take on 2 SU-76s for the most part, unless your opponent micros extremely well. Like this bunker, the manpower invested in this bunker could have been better used to get your first pack out just that much quicker. Demo charge there, that's kind of nasty. This is something you should never do. You should never, unless he's just, okay, so he's just trying to maintain vision. That was a good play then. I thought he was trying to get a Faust. And looks like you were moving up with the Shreks to deal with that. So you guys have dealt with this tier 3 rush really nicely. Your partner is going a P4. Alright, so at this point you can turn the game. Your partner's lost a lot, but this guy's playing Soviet Industry, which is one of the worst commanders in the game right now. It's just awful. It doesn't give you anything, really. Look at how much fuel and manpower he's floating. Like, I don't really get what the point of this is. He's not really. I mean, he can afford to just throw away these T-70s and be aggressive with them, but as soon as any sort of medium armor hits the field, this commander gets pretty bad. Especially against close air support, where you can just lay tellers everywhere like you're doing.
Forces are securing our territory. The enemy is attacking one of our forward buildings.
Second squad of P-Grins, that's good. Gotta be careful here. You should probably retreat this Shrek squad. They're getting really low. You can't afford to lose them. Yeah. It's worth it to kill the T-70, but if you, I mean, you really don't want to lose your triple vet P-Grin squad with Shreks. It's not. You're gonna. That's your key squad right there.
New resources available.
So P4 wants to be aggressive here, but probably needs to be pushing up with sweepers. They've had this whole portion of the map for a long time, so it's really risky just to push in with the P4 like that. Because if he hits a mine, that's basically GG. He's so far off another P4, and they've had so much fuel they could basically force you off the map. Nice use of close air support. That's good. Here come the SU-76s. Hopefully packs are backing it up. No, unsupported P4. So when you get a really key unit like this, that was a really bad overextension from your ally. He pushed up without any support, without any minesweepers. He got really lucky with those last two shots. Nice double barrage. Really good close air support. Nicely played. That was, yeah, that was really well done, but the Katyusha is really going to hurt now. Ah, you got super unlucky with that Katyusha barrage. Yep. That's what Katyusha does. So, when you get your big medium armor that you need to make your comeback, it's got to be supported. You don't want to just, I know this isn't you playing that, but this is a good example of how not to use your shock unit. You want to make sure that you've pushed up with all of your support units. The P4 alone isn't going to win you the game. Like we saw, the SU-76 has penetrated it super easily. And the only reason that P4 didn't die was because he got lucky and missed some shots. So, thing about close air support is it can really keep you in the game. What are we blowing up there? Trying to get the SU-85, maybe? I will say this, the Stuka bombing strike is best used when there's already action going on in the field. You don't really want to use it in these slow points of the game. Oh, nice. Incendiary rounds. Those don't do tons of damage against the M5, but they do decent. For some reason, they're not firing. It's unfortunate. You want to be careful about that pack positioning. It's a little bit forward. Yeah, looks like you recognize that pretty quickly. Your allies got... Is this thing set up? Okay, it is set up. I'm not sure what this guy is saving for. He must just be saving for a KV2. Which is pretty shit, to be honest. Stuka Bomb Strike will take like half of its health, and I mean, it's a powerful unit. It'll be the strongest unit on the field when it hits, but it's not the best. It's good, you've rebuilt your second P-Grid squad. This whole area, you guys are just too congested in this area. Katyusha is going to wreck you again. There's no need to double up so hard on the north when the south is relatively uncontested. I mean, all there's been in the south is a couple Maxim squads for just about the whole game. You could go down there with some sweepers and that P4 and deal pretty easily with everything that they have. This is why I think a half-track would be good. You don't have to retreat everything. You can recruit shit and reinforce in the field. It really mitigates that. Your ally needs to stop getting these trucks because there's just too many avenues for them to come and kill them. They have tons of caches. The Soviet player has had basically nothing for the whole game. Like, for the last 10 minutes, he hasn't had shit. Like, if you guys had contested the south, there's nothing there, basically.
The enemy is attacking one of our forward buildings.
Instead, clumping up in the north and getting eaten by Katyushas. Yeah, here comes the KV2, probably. Yep, there it is. So he floated the whole 10 minutes for this one unit. Super risky. It's going to be tough for you guys to deal with because you don't have any armor. But it's going to be super vulnerable to shit like, you know, the Stuka strafe and things like that. And now he's going to do what he's done all game with all of his vehicles, just drive it straight into your face. I think you need another pack still. Your allies floating. Oh god, this portion of the map is just made to be wrecked by Stukas. KV2's way overextended. Like, if he were to hit a mine on the ice here or something, if he were to just hit one of your tellers, that would be a game changer. I mean, that would be horrible for him. Yeah, it's probably worth it to strafe that VP. You need the VPs at this point. Still haven't seen the KV2, so you still don't know it's there, so I can't fault you for that. Although there's the recon from your partner, so you should know now. Oh, he's got, that was from him. Oh, he's got the long strafe from him. Let's see. Well, you should know that the KV2 is here. It's even in lockdown mode, which makes it really vulnerable. Like if you were to have some packs right here, this thing takes like 6 or 7 seconds to de-set up, and it's extremely vulnerable. Even some Shreks, like some Shreks from the backside would be good. You have to be careful about a frontal assault with infantry, because that thing will wipe squads like nobody's business. I'm still wondering how he has vision. Maybe he's just attacking ground. Yeah, that's a horrible spot to be set up for that thing. Just decoy packs from the front. Yeah, you should probably be coming around from multiple angles on this thing. It really does have the Maxim supporting now, so oh, this is getting hurt from the KV2. That thing is a monster. Yeah, you don't want to blob frontally into a KV2 like that. It's just gonna, when it's locked down. Yeah, okay, so that's good. Your ally's exploiting the minimum range of that thing when it's set up. Yeah, probably a good call. Wow, that was just really unlucky. Getting sunk by that Katusha is just about the worst thing that could have happened to you guys. I'm not sure what your partner's waiting on. I guess the Tiger. You didn't need to float that much manpower to get the Tiger. I think a half track for both of you guys would have been good. Being able to reinforce all your shit. You should probably be saving up for. Yeah, see now they're just laying demos and mines everywhere. They've had the map for so long, they're just going to make it a huge pain in the ass for you guys to get it back. So if you try and make a push anywhere after you've been pushed off the map for a long period of time, it should always be done with sweepers. You've done a good job, for the most part, preserving your units and spending your resources. Your ally, on the other hand, he's not really spending his resources. This is actually pretty good use of the KV2's lockdown barrage. He's got some suppression to keep your Shreks away, and it just gives this thing free reign to just tear shit up. Yeah, there you go. See, that's what I'm talking about. That fucking strafe is so OP. He waited the whole game for that, and it just kills it in one hit while it's locked down. So you guys are still not out of it, but your ally needs to spend his manpower if you're going to get back into this game. Not sure what he's doing with that. You could easily get a couple Pioneers, recruit all these support weapons. He's got a mortar here. There was a pack somewhere. A pack, I don't know. Oh, it got destroyed. Yeah, ally needs to spend his manpower. You're going to hit that demo, but there's no way you know if it's there. They just have so much indirect fire now. And so much suppression to force you guys off. Basically, this all started going downhill when you weren't prepared for the M5. That first M5 and then the T70 after that. Him shooting the tellers with the oh, pardon me. Him shooting the tellers with the T70 was really questionable in my opinion. That seemed like really, I don't want to call somebody a map hacker, but he didn't even have sweepers. He hasn't built sweepers once this game, and he just shot those mines directly. So, pretty questionable. I don't know about the bunker here. There's a KV2 on the field. That thing's going to two-shot the bunker. I don't think that's worth it. So, at this point, you know where the KV2 is. He's camped that spot 2 times in a row now. You can just wait for another strafing run. Wait for him to lock down, which he is. As soon as you have enough munitions for that thing, you need to just strafe the KV2 again and push the south. Your partner, it's hard to win in 2v2s if your partner doesn't spend his manpower. Like, I honestly don't really understand the commitment to the north here when the south has been basically uncontested. The tiger's been marked, so he needs to back off. You want to spread out, definitely, when you're going against a KV2. Yeah, that thing's AoE is really good. Its rate of fire is insane when it's locked down, but like you saw, it's super vulnerable. We've got all these maxims to deal with now. So when you're behind in a game like this, you really have to work with your partner in one place to really push somebody off. What you guys are doing right now is kind of just walking into the meat grinder. Like, this thing has such crazy AoE, there's such crazy area denial, and you lack the tools to deal with it individually. But together with the tiger and all those Shreks and a strafe, you can easily force that off and punch a hole in here. But your ally's kind of overextended in the north. The tiger up there, yeah, it'll hold the VPs, but I mean, I don't know what you're going to gain outside of that. Like, you really need more. You really need another medium tank to kind of make any progress, because your opponent has the tools to deal with the tiger. He's got an SU-85 and a T-34-85 plus marked target. That's more than enough to deal with the tiger. I'd have to say you're playing this pretty well. This is pretty much what you want to do with close air support. Basically eliminate key targets, but I'd get a pack a lot sooner and maybe a second or third pack with a half track. Tiger's doing good work. Actually, your partner manages to take out that T-34-85, so that's pretty good. It doesn't really matter for your opponents though, because they're floating so much fuel the whole game. They can just kind of trade vehicles and it's no big deal. Caddy is just wrecking shit still. You're still grouping these a little bit too much. Like, that's exactly what's going to happen against the KV2. You know it's there, there's no need to run directly into it with Panther Shreks. The best way you're going to have to deal with that, this thing right here. Don't even bother engaging it until you've got your Stuka strafe. Because otherwise you just bleed manpower and munitions, and it's going to wipe squads, and you've got the easy delete button. That's what this thing's for, so there's no need in trying to take it on frontally when you've got close air support. And your partner, you should even have vision on it, because your partner just used, I guess you just used recon run, but I think your partner just used something else. And if I'm this guy, I'm de-setting up as soon as I see that recon plane, because you gotta know what's coming next. Yeah, see, he still can't even move. He's still on the de-setup timer. Yeah, one pass. It didn't. Not even all the rounds hit him. It was destroyed. Now he's gonna have to float so much manpower to actually get anything, or to actually get another one of these. This is what I'm talking about late game Soviet industry. Your manpower is garbage. He's not even close to pop cap, and he's only got 177 manpower. So instead of getting a bunker here, a reinforced bunker, it would have been better if your partner had gotten a half track, because a half track's mobile and it's not going to get wrecked by the Katyusha eventually. Okay, medium vehicle, it's decent. Basically, all your opponents have at this point is indirect fire and support weapons. The only thing stopping you guys from even pushing like through all of it is this one SU-85. So right now you guys are playing super passively. What you want to do is try and figure out how many Katyushas they have, because if they have 4 Katyushas, that means they probably don't have a whole lot of anything else. And you've got the recon run, so you can use the recon run to figure out their exact unit composition. You can see where everything is. And you guys could actually just punch through this whole line here. The Tiger, there's nothing to stop the Tiger. All you have to do is move some packs up to force off the SU-85, and that Tiger's going to have free reign. But instead, you guys are playing very passively and eating basically all their indirect fire and getting pushed further and further off the map. So use that recon run to figure out their unit composition, and don't be afraid to scout out the south. You know, like tell your partner, hey, bring your tiger to the south. This is another mistake by the Soviet industry player. Building fuel caches as Soviet industry makes absolutely no sense because your resource that you're starved of is manpower. So building fuel caches is pointless. Not a good play on his part. I mean, even though you guys are just kind of camping the north, like you can see they don't have really anything that can push up on these two VPs.
Pioneers ready for assignment.
Well, we're gonna run right into that caddy. Woo! Yeah, I'd recommend a half track up before the bunker. It's mobile. It's not as campy. If you decide you don't want to pressure the north anymore, you can take all your support weapons to the south, and your half track can follow. Can make a big difference. He's just playing for the KV2. It's kind of funny. You guys have just been bled of all your infantry by all this indirect fire.
The enemy is attacking one of our forward buildings. The enemy is
But look at your opponent's unit
attempting to
composition.
steal
3
our
Maxims, 2 Katyushas, a KV2, and a combat NG squad. Like, he has absolutely nothing to push there. And you guys have all the area denial tools you need with this strafe. Even if they do try and push, they're just going to lose it. Iza, or whatever his name is, has slightly more varied unit composition, but not much. Katyusha's just wrecking all your packs. Mortar, or that on the mortars? Yeah, good call. Clears out the 2 mortars. They can't even, oh, I'm surprised I didn't get that one. I was going to say, if you sank both of them, they wouldn't even be able to recrew it, which is nice. Although with that Stuka ability, I would have gone with the, I would have gone after the Katyushas rather than the mortars, because those are what's really hurting me. Much more devastating. Jesus Christ. So yeah, like all this indirect fire is really devastating, but they don't have any actual combat units other than this KV2, which can just get rolled by the close air support. It's gonna 3-shot that stun though. Again, not sure how he has vision on that. Oh, they're using SU-85 to spot for it, okay. SU-85 is overextending. That's kind of fun. He's using the SU-85 to spot for his Katyushas. They're going to go for another play here on the VP. Probably going to get shut down. Your ally. It's just been getting rolled by these caddies.
Guard squad ready.
We have a forward structure under attack.
Still just the Maxims in the south. He's just attacking ground. Whenever he sees that mortar hit anything. Yeah, like how do they know that's there? How did they have vision on that? They had absolutely nothing to give them vision on that. And they knew exactly where all these Katyusha barrages go. I mean, that one was obvious, you had vision there, but really like this, is pretty questionable, as is the teller mines here in the south. I don't know, man. These guys might have been map hacking, to be honest with you. Aside from that, there's still something. I'm guessing the surrender's coming soon because we're just about out of time here. And you guys have been pretty bled of all your units and have had basically no map control for a while. If he caddies here, I'm going to call, yeah, I'm calling total bullshit. Like, that is the most obvious case of... They have absolutely no vision on that whatsoever. None. They caddied it perfectly. These guys are definitely map hacking. Definitely. Like, that was complete bullshit. Had no idea. No idea. Well, unfortunately, this game was against some shady players, to say the least. Not much you can do about that. Looks like the final push is coming. Yeah, engaging on the ice against a KV2. Never a smart idea. Your ally's down to 1 stove now. A little bit of bad manner here. So yeah, those guys were questionably map hacking. It's tough to say for sure. Looked pretty clear to me. No vision on the teller mine here or here. Targeted them manually with the T70, but I don't want to focus too much on that. We should probably focus instead on what we can learn from that. Okay, so in summary, against Soviets, always have a pack out by the 5 to 6 minute mark, and try and anticipate when he's going to be aggressive with it, and try and bait him into it. If you can kill that, if you can kill his first M5 and regain map control, you can really basically eliminate all of the Soviets' early pressure. Aside from that, I think using your mortars and using your pioneers to spot for them would have easily pushed off these Maxims. In conjunction with the half track, you can reinforce as you go, and you can steadily push them off the field. The thing about suppression is it's going to put you down on the ground, and it's going to make your units useless. But if you can back off instead of retreating, reinforce, you don't cede that map control. And then you can spot with your pioneers and use those mortars to steadily shell them and force them off. From there, I think a command tank would have done you really, really good. Command tank could have pushed through the south here really easily. Would have dealt with the M5, would have dealt with all the T70s. You don't have to tech for it. It's just really strong. Put a command tank in your commander loadout. It's really, really good. You played well. The JU-87 basically eliminated both of his KV2s. He didn't do anything all game. He secured the south with just 3 Maxims, so that was a bit of an oversight on your guys' part. At the very least, prod down here and see what they've got, or you've got easy access to recon runs. It's 35 munitions, recon. See what they've got in the south. See if you can push there. Instead, you guys kind of grouped up in the north and played for the VPs, which left you really exposed to Katyushas, because this area is really, I mean, this whole map's a clusterfuck. You're going to get wrecked by Katyushas anywhere you go, really. But the fact that both of you were in the north made the Katyushas really effective. That and your ally needed to spend his manpower more. You did a good job of spending your resources and not idling units. I think you guys just got cheesed. You got beat by a couple, like a questionable map hacker, and I don't really throw accusations like that around, but I feel like that was pretty obvious. Yeah, so that's basically it. I hope that wasn't too much information. I hope I didn't talk too fast. But I'll post a quick little description in the link, or in the I'll post a quick little outline in the description so that you can come back to it and easily see it and maybe remind. So yeah, a good game. You played well. I think that was just an example of how strong the M5 rush can be, and you always got to be ready for it. Aside from that, there were a few little things here and there that you guys could have done to maybe turn the game, but unfortunately, they seem to know exactly where to barrage every time. So with that, I will see you guys later.